हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य अद्य शतोत्तरः त्रयस्त्रिंशः पाठः। अद्यतनवर्गे तृतीयाध्यायस्य चतुर्थपादे पाठितानां णिनीक्तिच् क्त क्त्वा इत्येतेषां प्रत्ययानाम् अध्ययनं करिष्यामहे। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। अस्य वर्गस्य प्रयोजनानां पुनस्मारणं सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य सर्वेषां सूत्राणां विस्तारेण अध्ययनं, यत्र आवश्यकं तत्र अन्येषां व्याख्यानानां साहाय्येन शास्त्राध्ययनं, सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः यथा योग्यं कृत्प्रत्यययोजनं, कृत्प्रत्ययपरे रूपनिर्माणप्रक्रियायाः अभ्यासः, अष्टाध्याय्याः तृतीयाध्यायस्य कण्ठस्थीकरणम्। इदानीम् अन्तिमं करपत्रं मधीयमानम् अस्ति। तत्र प्रारम्भे तुमुन् इति प्रत्ययः समानकर्तृकेषु तुमुन् तथा कालसमयवेलासु तुमुन् इत्यत्र अन्ते च कुत्रचित् तुमुन् प्रत्ययः शकदृशज्ञाग्ला इत्यनेन पर्याप्तिवचनेष्वलमर्थेषु इत्यनेन च पाठ्यते। तुमुन् प्रत्ययस्य अध्ययनम् अस्माभिः कृतं। तदनन्तरम् अस्माभिः क्त्वा तथा ल्यप् प्रत्ययोः विषये एकं सूत्रम् अधीतं समानकर्तृकयोः पूर्वकाले इति। तदनन्तरं क्त्वा ल्यप् प्रत्ययोः प्रक्रिया अपि समग्ररूपेण दृष्टा। उपपदसमासस्य विषये अध्ययनं कृतम्। उपपदसमासः अत्र अस्मिन् द्वादशे करपत्रे कथं नियम्यते तस्मिन् विषये पूर्वस्मिन् वर्गे चिन्तनं कृतम्। अद्य अस्य करपत्रस्य सूत्राणां क्रमेण अध्ययनं प्रारभामहे। तत्र आदौ विद्यमानानि कानिचन सूत्राणि आवश्यक आधमरणीययोः णिनिः तथा च क्तिच् क्तौ च संज्ञायाम् इति सूत्रद्वयं। तदनन्तरं विद्यमानानि कानिचन सूत्राणि अलङ्खल्वोः प्रतिषेधयोः प्राचां क्त्वा उदीचां माङ्गो व्यतीहारे परावरयोगे च तथा च पूर्वस्मिन् वर्गे अधीतं पुनरेकवारं झटिति पश्यामः समानकर्तृकयोः पूर्वकाले इत्येतेषां सर्वेषां सूत्राणाम् अध्ययनं कुर्मः. So that completes the section where we have ktva pratyaya, and in the top there are some miscellaneous ऋणिनी क्तिच् and so on pratyayas are there. प्रारभामहे तत्र प्रथमः प्रत्ययः, let's see the sheet again. प्रथमः प्रत्ययः णिनि इति प्रत्ययः आवश्यकाधमरणीययोः णिनिः. If we actually look at this sutram, now as I mentioned in the beginning of sheet number 12, there are sutras, pending sutras from 3.3 that have been collected together. Only when we enter 3.4 the sequential arrangement of sutras is going to start. Till that point most of the sutras are completely related to lakaras. Only a few of them are related to krudanta prakaranam that have been picked over here. Tatra किंचित संदर्भं पश्यामः. आवश्यकाधमरणीयोर्णिनिः is 33170. It is open over here, and if you look at the sutra, the place where this sutra is placed, we have arhe krutyatruchascha, which is essentially for the krutya pratyayas, sheet number 1. There is krutyascha, shakilingcha, both of these are again for sheet number 1. And in sandwiched in between them is this avashakadhamarneyoho णिनिः. The reason why this gets sandwiched is because the entire sutram comes as an anuvrutti in krutyascha, and therefore long ago in krutyascha class, I am actually switching the ppt. I'm going to the ppt of the krutyaha class. Some, I think, initial some 30 32 33, that ppt is there. So in that PPT, when we learned this sutram krutyascha, I talked that avashyaka and adhamaranya come as an anuvrutti from this current sutram. So what happens is, in the current sutram, avashyaka adhamaranayoho णिनिः णिनिः इति प्रत्ययः पाठ्यते. तस्मिन्नेव सन्दर्भे अग्रिमसूत्रे कृत्यप्रत्ययाः अपि पाठ्यन्ते. So that's precisely the sequence over here. आवश्यकाधमरणयोः णिनिः and कृत्याश्च. So whatever we learned for that Krutyascha Sutram in the context of Avashakadhamarnyayoho, the same thing repeats for today also. Just give me 1 second. So the same thing repeats for this particular context also. So avashyaka and adhamaranya, these are the two contexts over here. Avashyasya bhavaha avashyakam, something that is necessary. And adhamaranasya bhavaha adhamaranyam, debt iti arthaha. So ityetayoho dvayoho sandarbhayoho atra sarvebhyah dhatubhyah णिनि इति प्रत्ययः भवति. So I just wanted to present this old presentation to show that what we are talking is not new. It is already been discussed. I think this was class number 33. I think if people want to go back and take a look at it, 31. So this was class number 31 if people want to go back and take a look at it. But let's now move on to the current sutram. आवश्यकाधमरणयोः णिनिः अवश्यस्य भावः और अवश्यम भावः आवश्यकम अधमरणस्य भावः आधमर्ण्यम् उपाधिः अयम् न उपपदम्. This point was also clarified at that point in time. Let me clarify it once again over here. Avashyaka and adhamarnya are not the specific upapadas, they are the pratyayarthas. So when a certain kriya is mandated to be done, it is necessary to be done, there is a context of avashyakam over there. So that is the context that we are capturing. We do not need the word avashyaka or we do not need the word avashyam as an upapada. We just need the context, we just need the pratyayartha to be avashyaka, avashyam. And adhamarnyayoho. So adhamarnyam, adhamarnasya bhavaha adhamarnyam, there should be a concept of depth over here. So examples will make it clear. Upadhihi iyam ayam. So this is an upadhi. Somebody saying upadhi, what does exactly upadhi mean? It simply means pratyayartha. This upadhi word indicates that it is not an upapada, it is simply the meaning extra tagging that is done for the pratyaya. So atra pratyayah कर्तृर्थे भवति, परन्तु तस्मिन्नेव समये प्रत्ययेन कश्चन अन्यः अर्थः तत्र विज्ञाप्यते. कः सः अर्थः इति चेत् आवश्यकता इति तत्र अर्थः भवेत्, नो चेत् आधमर्ण्यम् इति तत्र अर्थः भवेत्. That's the meaning. So upadhihi ayam, upapadam nasti, and that's exactly what is clarified is that is exactly clarified in the next statement. Avashyam bhava vishishte, the bhava, the idea expressed by the krit pratyaya should be something related to mandatory. Avashyam. So avashyam bhava vishishte, adhamaranya vishishte cha. This is not adharmanya, this is adhamaranya, the depth. So adhamaranya vishishte cha कर्तरि वाच्ये धातोः णिनि प्रत्ययः भवति. So क्रू इति धातुः अस्ति, तत्र अवश्यं करोति, definitely does it. So avashyam karoti iti arthaha. So somebody is asking, does avashya really get translated to mandatory? Probably not. So avashyam karaniyam ityukte nishchayena karaniyam, definitely karaniyam. When you say compulsory karaniyam, tatra kashana bhinnaha arthaha pratiyate. So there is a slight difference of meaning when we say you need to do it or you must do it or this definitely needs to get done. There are two different, slightly different shade of meaning. So avashyam karoti ityeva samskrutenaiva vadamaha. Avashyam karoti ityasmin sandarbhe. I have explicitly written this in the brackets. This is not an upapada. Kru plus rinini prakriya, everybody knows. We have also come across rinini pratyaya, nandigrahi pachadibhyo lyuninyachah. So we have come across rinini pratyaya multiple times in the past. Kru plus inna, kru becomes karina. So णित प्रत्यय अस्ति, वृद्धि भवति, फर्दर प्रक्रिया will happen कारिन इति प्रातिपदिकं प्रथमैकवचने कारी इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति. So somebody is asking, how is this different from kartavyam? This is exactly why I opened the previous PPT. kartavyam is a krutya pratyaya. The krutya pratyaya has multiple shades of meanings. So if you remember, krutya pratyaya can be used in 7 different ways. I think this entire PPT number 31 talks about various ways in which the krutya pratyaya can be used. Look at this, krutya pratyayanam prayog vidhanam karma samanyasya nirdeshaha. On the next slide, we have praisha, atisarga, praptakala. On the next slide, we have uh, Aurdhva Mahurtika, something happening after a moment. On the next slide, we have Arhata. On the again next slide, we have Avashakata, Adhamaranyata. So there are different shades, meanings in which Krutya Pratyayas can be used. Only one of them is being replicated over here for the Rini Pratyaya. So if you again go back to this particular ordering, Arhe Krutya Truchascha. So Krutya Pratyaya, like if you say Kartavya, it can be used in multiple different ways. Arhata, or it can be used in shakyata, shaknoti ityasmin arte. So there are different ways in which kartavya word can be used. Only one specific part of it, avashakata or adhamaranyam ityasmin arthe atra iti pratyah uchyate. So what does the word kari mean? It means avashyam yaha karoti, kartrarthe pratyayah asti. अवश्यम कारी अवश्यम यहाँ करोति सः कारी अस्ति इति उच्यते. So somebody is asking, Pathashalam avashyam gamaniyam, Pathashalam avashyam gantavyam. These are all similar prayogas to this. So when you use the word avashyam, you can definitely use the krutya pratyaya. That's exactly what I told on the previous PPT. Avashyakata is one of the multiple situations where the krutya pratyayas can be used. You need to definitely go back to class number 31 and watch it again to understand the array of use cases where the krutya pratyayas are used. Only one of them is specifically considered in the, or two of them, avashyaka and adhamaranyam, are specifically considered in the sutram avashyakadhamaraniyoho ninihi. अन्यः प्रश्नः केनचित् पृष्टः, सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः अयं प्रत्ययः भवति वा? आम्, अयं प्रत्ययः सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः भवति इति व्याख्यानेषु ज्ञायते, but it is not like a blanket application for all dhatus like tavya, tavyat or aniyar. So tavya, tavyat and aniyar, when you say sarvebhya dhatubhya, it actually means sarvebhya dhatubhya. But here we have to restrict ourselves to the examples given in the commentaries. So atra, because not necessarily all the verbs really make sense for adhamaranyam. So whenever you are talking about depth, it is typically the da dhatu or related dhatus that will make sense. Or for example, whenever you are talking about avashyakata, only those cases where a definite necessity makes sense in the context, those dhatus will make sense. So for specifically for this sutram, we have to resort to the context. We have to stay within the limits of whatever given in the commentary, not because it is not applicable to other dhatus, but because of anabhidhana. There is no such usage in the language. Anabhidhanat anyebhya dhatubhya yatra prayoge na drishyate tatra prayogah na karaniyah. So this is not a blanket application like tavya, tavyat, aniyar and so on. So avashyasya bhavah avashyakam upadhihi ayam na upapadam avashyam bhava vishtye adhamarnya vishishtye cha kartari vache dhatoho nini pratyah bhavati. Somebody is again asking what is adhamaranyam. It is depth. I'll come to the example and it will be clear. So avashya ityasya udaharanam kari iti asti. Adhamaranyam ityasya udaharanam. So suppose I take, say I want to take say 100 say uh, coins from somebody. So the other person, shatam adhamaranyam dadati, he gives some money so as to get it back as lending. So tadrishaha manushaha shatam dadati tadrishaha dayi iti uchyate. So I am not gifting 100 coins to somebody, or somebody is not gifting 100 coins to me. It's basically a debt. It's basically a lending that is happening. Again, in that context, we use the pratyaya nini. So da plus nini, da plus in, as usual the prakriya will happen. Dayi iti shabdaha siddhyati. So avashyam iti upadhihi, that's why it's in the bracket. Karoti sahakari, dadati sahadayi इत्येते शब्दाः अत्र सिद्ध्यन्ति. So Padamanjari explains this particular point उपाधिः. उपाधिः इत्युक्ते किं? यथा मया पूर्वमेव उक्तं, प्रत्ययार्थविशेषणम्. प्रत्ययस्य अर्थः येन विशिष्यते. More information is given about the meaning of the pratyaya. Pratyayartha it is not an upapadam. Why can we be very sure that it is not an upapadam? Because if it would have been an upapadam, standalone words like kari and dai would not exist. Remember this. Kumbham karoti ityatra kumbham iti upapadam asti. Atah kevalam karaha iti shabdaha tatra na bhavati. Kumbhakaraha ityeva vaktavyam. Parantu atra tadrisham nasti. Kari iti shabdaha swayam bhashayam drishyate. Ashtadhyayam api drishyate. So he says, शीतोष्णाभ्याम कारिणी सेनान्तलक्षणकारिभ्यश्च इत्यत्र सर्वत्र पाणिनिना कारी इति साक्षात् शब्दः प्रयुक्तः अस्ति. उपपदत्वे हि केवलात्रिणिनि न स्यात्. If it is upapadam, it will not be from a single word. You will need an upapada over there. tat sahacharyat आधमन्यम तत्साहचर्यात् इत्युक्ते केवलं तत्र धातुभ्यः धातोः एव प्रत्ययः भवति. अथ के तत्साहचर्यात् आधमर्ण्यम् उपाधिः एव न उपपदम् इति अत्र आशयः. Now there are at least 15 comments or questions that are appearing one after the other over here. So I have to at least park them for now. I'll just go through them and talk about one or two of them. So somebody is saying that in the kosha, adhamaranya is explained as the state of being in debt. So I think I might have explained it in the reverse way. Let's actually go to the kosha and let's say dai. I don't think dai will be there, but so the state of being indebted. So basically, if I take some money, then I am supposed to be dai because I have already taken the money and I have to give it back. So let's see if dayin word is there somewhere in the kosha. So dayin iti giving, granting ityasmin arthe prayujyate. I think koshas have conflicting meaning over here because if you see dayin is actually giving. Uh, I don't know, maybe. Okay, so you can look it up. So the question is whether Dai is the person who gives the money, who lends the money, or Dai is the person who receives the money. People can, find out and let me know later on or, later in the class. So atra shatam adhamarnyam dadati ityukte प्रारंभे स्वीकृतम अस्ति तत् प्रतिददाति इति अर्थः अत्र स्वीक्रियते चेत् the person who is in debt will be called dai, whereas if you just say I am giving some money, I am lending some money, then the person who is returning, who is giving the initial money is called dai. But I think given that the word is adhamaranyam and not uttamaranyam, so uh, maybe they would have used the word uttamaranyam if uttamaranyam if it would have been somebody who is giving. So possibly what Kosha is saying, at least over here, Adhamaranya is the person who is in debt. So Shatam Adhamaranyam Dadati ityukte the debt is being returned. Tasmin arthe atra yena tat shatam svikrutam prarambhe tat ऋणरूपेण स्वीकृतं तत् यः प्रतिददाति सः दायी अस्ति इति उच्यते. अत्र एतादृशः अर्थः अस्माभिः कोशात् लभ्यते. Now, as I mentioned, there are so many comments over here. I cannot take, unfortunately, all of them because there is a limited time we want to spend on this sutram. But give me 1 minute to go through all these comments. So somebody is saying adhamaranya means I have to pay back. So I think what this particular statement then fits this context. So adhamaranyam means I have already taken 100 coins and I have to return back. So I am in debt. So then I will be called dai. So if I get some loan or something, then I will be dai because then I'll have to return that. So that actually clarifies the precise meaning of the word dai. And therefore shatam dai, Shatam is the word, separate word over here, but Dai is the one who returns back the money. Okay. Then there are a few more questions. Does it only pertain to monetary debt? Uh, Probably not, but the examples are only talking about, Nishkam is again kind of coin or kind of currency, Sahasram Dai, Shatam Dai, and so on. It might be, 100 cows or 100 horses or anything. So the examples are just with the numbers, Shatam Dai, Sahasram Dai, and so on. So it might or might not be monetary debt. Okay, there are multiple questions, multiple comments, but we will park them aside. There are a few aspects about this sutram that I want to explain. So, atra pashyamaha prayoge kim drishyate iti chet prayoge kari tatha dayi ityete shabdaः यथा stand alone रूपेण प्रयोगे दृश्यन्ते पृथक् रूपेण दृश्यन्ते तादृशमेव अवश्यंकारी इति शब्दः अपि प्रयोगे दृश्यते. Now understand this part. This is very important over here. Avashya is not an upapada. So kari is a standalone word. If you combine it with avashyam, there will be some kind of samasa. Sup lopa will happen, but the final form that you get is avashyankari. So avashyankari, or you get shatandayi. So you get these weird looking samasas where there is not even a sublopa happening. I mean, technically it should be shatadayi. Like, for example, you have kleshadayi, is a very well known word. It was there in the dictionary also over there. So, or sukhadayi, dukkhadayi. These are the typical words that we know. In the same way, it should be shatadayi, but the word that you see in the practice is shatamdayi, or the word that you see in the practice is avashyankari. So these samasas have to be justified in some way, and the way they are justified is by putting them in the Mayura Vyamsakadi Gana. So Mayura Vyamsakadi is basically a group of ill-behaved samasas. Ill-behaved in the sense these are the samasta padas that are used in the language, but they cannot be justified by any other sutras of samasa prakaranam. So all these weird words which have their individual breakup, which needs to be just memorized, they do not follow any particular pattern or any particular style and so on. All these words, just because they are in the language, प्रयोग साधुत्वार्थम तेषां समास रूपेण ग्रहणं कृत्वा एतेषां सर्वेषां मयूर व्यंसकादि गणे. So the last sutra of 2.1, मयूर व्यंसकादयश्च मयूर व्यंसकादि गणे एतेषां सर्वेषां स्थापनं कृतम् अस्ति. So अत्र अवश्यंकारी इति शब्दः, नो चेत् शतं दायी इति शब्दः सर्वत्र मयूर व्यंसकादित्वात् समास रूपेण स्वीक्रियते. So that's exactly what it is saying. अवश्यंकारी मयूर व्यंसकादित्वात् समासः आधमरण्ये खलु अपि. He's giving example of adhamaranyam, shatam dayi, sahasram dayi, nishkam dayi, ittitam sarvam. So you can have these separate words. I mean, you can obviously have shatam and dayi separate because dayi word essentially is standalone word, valid word with the nini pratyaya. Or you can also see forms like avashankari or shatandayi, and you have to justify them using mayura vyamsakadi samasa. Let's move on. There are so many comments, but most of them I think are about this word dai, which I have clarified it in sufficient details. So let's move on. There is something else, Vyakarana specific thing that I want to point out at this point in time. Look at these words, Sahasram Dai, Nishkam Dai. Atra Dvitiya Vibhakti Prayukta Asti. Technically, remember this, whenever a pratyaya is used in the kartrarthe sense, the karma pada must go in the shashti by kartrukarmanoho kruti. But what you see over here is not sahasrasya dayi. We say sahasram dayi, we say nishkam dayi. So let's take a look at the sutram that actually blocks the shashti and brings dvitiya. This sutram has also been discussed in the class. So when we just started the Uttara Krudantas, I think this is, God knows, class number 103 or something. Let's see which class was this. 105. So when we just started the Uttar Krudantas in the class 105, when we talked about the Bhavishyati Adhikara, sheet number 7. So in this Bhavishyati Adhikara, in beginning, when we studied the sutram bhavishyati gamyadayah, there was this rinini pratyaya, and we talked about this rinini pratyaya at that point in time. We talked why shashti vibhakti gets blocked for this rinini pratyaya and we get dvitiya vibhakti. So akka in bhavishyati adhamaraniyayoho. So this is the sutram कर्तृ कर्मणोः कृति इत्यनेन कर्मपदस्य अत्र षष्ठी विभक्तिः प्राप्नोति, परन्तु तादृशं प्रयोगं बाधित्वा, look at this sutram over here, अकेनोर् भविष्यदाधमर्ण्ययोः. We looked at one fragment of this sutram, the bhavishyat fragment of this sutram at that point in time, class number 105. So what you're seeing on the screen is a slide from class number 105. We talked about bhavishyati kale. We are now looking at the different component of the same sutram. Look at this, there is adhamaranyam in this sutram. So when the nini pratyaya is used in the adhamaranya sense, the shashti is blocked and you get back dvitiya. So switching the PPT to the current presentation, kartarinini pratyaya, just now what we saw. So this rinini pratyaya is used in the two senses, avashyakata and adhamaranyam. Out of the two senses, it is only the adhamaranyam where the shashti is blocked and we get the dvitiya. So kartarinini pratyasya vishaye कर्म पदस्य कर्तृकर्मणोः कृति इत्यनेन षष्ठी विभक्तौ प्राप्तायाम् आधमरणे द्योत्ये अक्क इनोः bhavishyat adhamarnyayoho. So we actually studied all the initial part of this sutram in class number 105. We talked about akka, which is anavula. We talked about inna, both in the context of bhavishyati. The last part adhamarnya. So adhamaranye द्योत्ये षष्ठी विभक्तिः निषिध्यते कर्मणि द्वितीया इति द्वितीया एव भवति. So Devadatta Shatam Dai. So Devadatta is in the depth of 100 coins and now he is giving back, he is returning the 100 coins. So Devadatta Shatam Dai. Now understand this. The Nini Pratyaya is used in two senses, Avashaka and Adhamaranyam. Out of this, only the Adhamaranya is being discussed in the current sutram. Shashti is blocked and Dvitiya is taken. For the Avashyakata, Karma Pada will go in Shashti as usual. So it is necessary that you eat food or you consume food. So tatra annam iti कर्मपदमस्ति तस्य अवश्यं षष्ठी विभक्ति भवति. देवदत्तः भोजनस्य अवश्यंकारी और देवदत्तः भोजनस्य कारी. सो अवश्यम इत्यस्य अत्र षष्ठी विभक्तिः न भवति. किमर्थम्? अवश्यमिति कर्मपदं नास्ति. Avashyam is just the context that exactly we spent so much time on the previous slide. Avashyam is not necessarily part of the sentence. It is not the karma pada. It is not the upapada. It is just a context. So Devadattaha bhojanasya avashyankari अत्र तु षष्ठी विभक्तिः एव भवति. So again understand this, ऋणिनी pratyaya is used in two senses. One of them gets षष्ठी, other gets dvitiya. The avashyakata gets षष्ठी, adhamaranya gets dvitiya. Same as anavula pratyaya also. Anavula gets in two senses. The normal kartrarthe anavula, the karma pada will go in षष्ठी. Bhavishyati anavula, so karishyati atah gacchati अस्मिन् सन्दर्भे अपि कारकः गच्छति इति प्रयोगः भवति. That's exactly where we studied the first part of this sutram, अकेनोर् भविष्यत् इति. तस्मिन्नेव समये अस्माभिः पठितम्. आधमर्ण्य इत्यस्य विषये तु अत्र द्वितीया एव भवति. So let's look at the commentary. Akenor bhavishyadadhamarnyayoho. So there is a comment that I want to make. People are asking me the same questions again and again, and the reason I notice is because people were busy in asking questions when I would on the previous slide when I was discussing the newer material. So please refrain from asking questions when something really important is being discussed. So there are actually two questions over here asking me what is this samasa avashyankari about. So I explained it literally 5 minutes ago. So this is called this is a special samasa which gets the samasa property by mayura vyamsakadayascha. It belongs to mayura vyamsakadi gana, therefore it takes the it becomes a samasa. It is not, the word avashya is not an upapada over here. It is not not a karma pada over here. You either use the word avashankari as it is, or just use the word kari, but still the context will be avashya, because otherwise you won't get an any pratyaya for the sentence devadattaha bhojanasya avashankari. So exactly, somebody asked the same question. Can I write Devadattaha Bhojanasya Kari? Yes, you can write Devadattaha Bhojanasya Kari. It will mean the same thing. The word Kari standalone can be used, because if Avashankari was the only acceptable form, we would have called Avashyam as Upapadam. But that's not the case. Devadattaha Bhojanasya Kari iti api uchitaha prayogaha तादृशः अष्टाध्याय्याम् अपि दृश्यते. So look at the शीतोष्णाभ्याम कारिणी सेनान्तलक्षणकारिभ्यश्च. So you actually see the standalone word kari used in different types of samasas. In the same way, you can say devadattaha bhojanasya kari, and then you can do shashti tatpurusha also further, depending on obviously the usage, context, and shishta prayoga. Anyway, let's quickly look at the commentary. As I mentioned, akka in aka inoho bhavishyat, that whole fragment has already taught. We are only talking about the next one, adhamaraniyoho. But let me anyway quickly read the entire commentary. Akasya bhavishyati kale vihitasya, so that was anuvula pratyaya. Inaha, that is anini pratyaya. Bhavishyati adhamaraniye cha vihitasya prayoge shashti vibhakti na bhavati. So there are a bunch of there are a bunch of bhavishyati related examples. कटम कारकः व्रजति. So कटम करिष्यति अतः व्रजति. कटम कारकः व्रजति, not कटस्य कारकः व्रजति. ओदनम भोजकः व्रजति. ग्रामम गमि शतम ग्रामम गमि ग्रामम गामि. And then starts the example of the current context. शतम दायी सहस्रम दायी इति अत्र उदाहरणानि. भविष्यदाधमन्योः इति किम्? Other context. So for example, anavula pratyaya, when it is used in the normal kartari sense, anavul truchau, you don't get dvitiya, you go back to shashti. Yavanam, what is yavanam? Yavanam lavakaha, saktunam payakaha, and so on. Similarly, the nini pratyaya, when it is not used in the adhamaraniya sense, when it is used in the avashyaka sense, you go back to shashti. So avashyam kari katasya. So katasya avashyam kari. And then next part I'll ignore. I have already discussed it in the bhavishyati adhikara. So iha kasman na bhavati. He is giving an example of anavul pratyaya which is not in the bhavishyat kala, and therefore the shashti vibhakti is not blocked in those examples. कौमुदीं पश्यामः. भविष्यति अकस्य भविष्यति भविष्यदाधमरणयो आधमरण्यार्थेनश्च. Let's break this. भविष्यति अकस्य भविष्यताधमरण्यार्थ इनश्च योगे षष्ठी न स्यात्. सतः, it's a very bad example actually. सतः पावकः अवतरति व्रजम गामी शतम दायी. सतः पावकः अवतरति. So this is basically द्वितीया बहुवचनम. पावकः रक्षकः इति अर्थः. पारक्षणे इति धातुः अस्ति. पावकः इत्युक्ते रक्षकः. सतः सज्जन सत् इति शब्दः, तस्य द्वितीया बहुवचनम् अस्ति. सतः पावकः. Now the reason why I called this as a bad example is because shashti is also sataha only. Shashti ekvachana will also be sataha. So by looking at this example, it's not very clear whether it's dvitiya or shashti. But sataha pavakaha avatarati. Anyway, we don't have to worry about it. This is anavul related. Vrajam gami shatam dayi is the example that we want to talk in the current context. Anyway, agre gachamaha. So there have been a bunch of questions over here. Uh, there are a few. Let me just take a quick look at some 25 odd questions present over here. Uh, oh, somebody's clarifying. This is puya dhatu. That is correct. Probably I mentioned pa or what? Sorry, puya iti dhatu asti, not pa. Pa will be ato yuk chin krutuho. Pavaka punya iti dhatu tasya pavaka iti rupavati. Satyam, slip of tongue. Then there are a few questions. I think most of them are comments over here. Somebody saying that णिनि pratyaya shashti tatpurusha is blocked for णिनि pratyaya. What I think what you're saying is right. Let's actually go to but anyway, that's a little bit digression. I want to talk some more important things. So the question was, can you really do the shashti tatpurusha samas over here? I don't recollect. If I mean, there is probably a sutram that blocks this. I can't think it offhand, but if there is a sutram that blocks the shashti tatpurusha for the णिनि, you shouldn't do it. But anyway, whether you do shashti tatpurusha or not is the not the point of current discussion. Atra shashti bhavati इति अत्र विषयः. किमर्थम् अत्र षष्ठी भवति? अत्र णिनि प्रत्ययः आवश्यकम् इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे प्रयुज्यते. अस्मिन् अर्थे अत्र द्वितीया विभक्तिः न भवति. सूत्रे अत्र आधमर्ण्यम् इति विशिष्ट रूपेण लिखितम् अस्ति. अतः so the form is देवदत्तः भोजनस्य अवश्यंकारी. अग्रे गच्छामः. We spent a lot of time on this sutram. I did not really anticipate, but अग्रे गच्छामः. अग्रिमं सूत्रं क्तिच् तौ च संज्ञायाम. So we are done with this आवश्यकाधमरणीयोः णिनिः. In the same sutram, look at this कृत्याश्च शकिलिञ्च आशिशिलिङ्ग्लोटौ. So this आशिशिलिङ्ग्लोटौ is the lakar related sutram. आशिशिलिङ्ग्लोटौ, and the immediate next one क्तिच् तौ च संज्ञायाम. क्तिच् इति प्रत्ययः, क्त इति प्रत्ययः, एतौ द्वौ प्रत्ययौ संज्ञायाम only for very specific words which are known in the language as samnyas or rudhi words, basically the words in the language used by shishtas which need to be derived by tich pratyaya. So and kta pratyaya. So tadrishaः शब्दाः अनेन सूत्रेण सिद्ध्यन्ति. कस्मिन् अर्थे? आशिषि इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे. सो आशिषि लिङ्लोटौ इत्यस्मात् आशिषि इत्यस्य अनुवृत्तिं स्वीकृत्य अग्रिमं सूत्रं क्तिच् तौ च संज्ञायाम् आशिषि इत्येव. व्हाट इज आशिहि? अप्राप्तस्य इच्छा इति आशिहि. So something that is not clearly in your hands and you would like to achieve it. So typically, for example, we say Shubham Bhuyat. So let, or say Jayam Bhuyat. So let you win the battle, or say let you prosper, and so on. So these are the things. Mostly there is a tone of having an Ashirvachana, a blessing or something, but it's not only related to blessing. You can also use in the negative sense, Shatruhu Mriyat, and so on. So it can be used for curse. Somebody is asking, can it be used for curse? Yes, something that is not in our hands, but we desire for it. So apraptasya ishtasya arthasya praptum ichha. So ishta for you could be anishta for somebody else, or it can be ishta for somebody else. So that component is not necessarily fixed over here. So apraptasya parantu ishtasya arthasya praptum ichha, that is ashihi. But understand, this whole context is to be taken with quite some salt. I mean, not just a pinch of salt, with quite some salt, because this sutram is only applicable for samnyayam. So there are certain examples over here and next few slides, and only those examples we have to take, not all. So ashishi ityeva, ashishi विषये धातोः क्तिच् तथा क्त एतौ प्रत्ययो भवतः समुदायेन चेत् संज्ञा रूढ़ी term well known word गम्यते. So tanu tat, tanu to spread, ityasmas, I think first dhatu of eighth gana, tanadi gana. So tanu vistare ityasmat dhatoho क्तिच् प्रत्यये कृते तन्ति इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यति. So tanu tat iti tantihi. Who is tanti? The one who you want to I mean, this is an exam, this is the term given for tantuvaya, a weaver, who basically you wish that he weaves and create a cloth for you. So now this is all stretch. I mean, why would you wish for something? Maybe because you are not able to do it, but you want that cloth, so you want somebody else to do it, and so on. This type of stretched meaning can be put over here. But as I said, this ashishi and all that is kind of, you have to take it with some salt. This is basically derivation for some specific well-known words. So tanutat iti tantihi iti atra vigraha, but the word tanti specifically is used for a tantuvaya, a weaver. So here kartari ktich pratyaya bhavati. tanutat imam iti tantihi. So the rope that weaver uses, sometimes that is also called tanti. So tanutat imam iti tantihi. Atra dirgha prasarita rajjuhu asti. So you wish that rajju be converted to a piece of cloth. So tatra dirgha prasarita rajjuhu iti karmani ktich. Somebody is asking, what is tanutat? It is ashir. This is lot lakara used in the ashihi sense. So bhavatu bhavatat. So tanotu tanutat. So that's the so lot lakara can come in ashihi sense as well as vidhini mantrana mantrana and so on. So in the ashi sense, this is the form tanutat. So tanutat imam iti tantihi dirgha prasarita rajjuhu atra kartari karmani tij bhavati, because this is the object that is being spread. Here it is the person who is doing the spreading. In the second example, there is object that is being spread. Bhavatat anaya iti bhutihi. So bhavata, something that is very difficult to achieve, let it be achieved with help of bhuti. So the bhuti means shakti over here. So with some divine power that you have, or you get some divine power so that you will achieve something that is very difficult to achieve. So bhavatat anaya iti bhutihi atra karane ktich pratyaya asti. Anaya karane ktich pratyaya asti. So you have multiple examples. There is kartari ktich, there is karmani ktich, there is karane ktich. There is no definite rule over here. The word samnyayam takes everything away. You just have to use this word to show or to derive some predefined samnyas. So samnyanam nirdeshartham. Somebody is saying, what does this whole sentence mean? Samudayena chet samnya gamyate. Ityasya artha tatra कर्तृपद तत्र कृदन्तं यदस्ति तेन कृदन्तेन तत्र संज्ञायाः निर्देशः भवति. Why does the word samudaya means group? Why does the word samudaya is used? Because if there is an upapada, then combine that upapada and the whole thing should be called a samnya. So these examples that we talked were only for the ktich pratyaya. तत्र सूत्रे क्त इति प्रत्ययः अपि अस्ति. तस्यापि उदाहरणं पश्यामः. देवः यं देयात् सः देवदत्तः. So somebody who desires a son and then gets a son, so that is aprapitasya praptum ichha. So he thinks it is a god given son, so he names him as Devadatta. So very well known word, favorite of every grammarian. Like all stock example in grammar involves Devadatta. How is that word derived? Devaha enam deyat or Devaha yam deyat saha Devadattaha. So atra samudayah asti kt pratyayantah samudayah dev plus da plus kt इत्यत्र देवदत्त इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यति. देवेन दत्तः इति देवदत्तः एतादृशः समासविग्रहः भवति वा? प्रायः न भवति. कर्तृकणयो कृता बहुलम् इति उच्यते. अतः तत्र कृदन्तेन समासः क्तान्तेन तृतीया तत्पुरुष समासः बहुलं भवति. देवदत्त शब्दस्य विषये विशिष्टरूपेण अयं विग्रहः दीयते. अतः एतादृशः विग्रहः एव प्रयोक्तव्यः. देवः एनं देयात् सः देवदत्तः, नो चेत् देवः यं देयात् सः देवदत्तः. And if you do bahuvachanam, that's what is there in the commentary. Devaha enam deyasuhu saha devadattaha. Yajnaha enam deyat saha yajnadattaha. So two or three such examples are there. That's it. So Devadatta, Yajnadatta, and so on. So let's quickly look at the commentary. Ashishityeva ashishi vishe tiktau pratyau bhavatah samudayena chet samnya gamyate tanutat tantihi sanutat satihi. So he's giving some examples. We'll see the prakriya on the next slide. Bhavatad bhutihi. So simple. Bhu plus tich becomes bhuti. Manutat mantihi and so on. Kta ityasya udaharanam devadattaha. Samanyena vihitaha punaruchyate ticha madha mabhutiti. So specifically in this post Striadhikara, the Vasrupa Vidhi is completely going for a toss. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't appear. So he actually is more explicit over here. So ktich api bhavati, kta api bhavati, atah dvayoh pratyayoh atra nirdeshah krutah asti. Chakarha visheshanarthaha. I'll talk about that on the next slide. So we can park that particular statement in a minute, for a minute. So कौमुदीं पश्यामः धातोः क्तिच् क्तः स्याद् आशिषि संज्ञायां क्तिच् प्रत्ययस्य विषये इडागमः न भवति. So same sutram as क्तिन्. So ति तूत्र इत्यनेन तत्र इडागमः न भवति. So prakriya for क्तिच् and क्तिन् is mostly or 100% identical. There are 2 or 3 sutras that differ that we'll talk about on the next slide. But before that, it is important to understand that these pratyas क्तिच् and क्त केवलम संज्ञा निर्माणार्थम प्रयोगम अनुसृत्य एव प्रयोक्तव्यौ. So whatever examples are on this slide or on next 2 or 3 slides, these are the only examples that we will talk in this context. So तत्र तिच् प्रत्ययस्य विषये केचन प्रक्रिया विशेषाः द्वौ विशेषौ स्तः. तत्र न क्तिचि दीर्घश्च इति प्रथमं सूत्रम्. So we will look at this context first. Everybody knows this sutram, or I would assume everybody knows this sutram. Anudattopadesha vanati tanotyadinam anunasika lopo jhalikingiti. So when you have anudattopadesha, the anudatta dhatus, sorry, the anudattopadesha dhatus, that is anit dhatus, you have the anunasika lopa happening in their case. So anudattopadesha अनुनासिकान्ताः अनुदात्तोपदेश धातवः 6 dhatus yama rama nama gama hana mana, and the tanotyadi, the verbs in the tanotyadi gana, so tana kshana kshina and so on. All the examples are over here. So etesham vishaye anunasikasya lopaha bhavati jhaladi kit pratyaya pare. So ktich is a jhaladi kit pratyaya. So atra अनेन सूत्रेण अनुनासिक अनुदात्तोपदेश वनति तनोत्यादीनाम इत्यनेन सूत्रेण अनुनासिक लोपः भवितुम अर्हति. And this sutram actually comes in triplet. So I'm sure most of you would at least remember this. So we have this anudattopadesha vanati tanotyadinam anunasika lopo jhalikingiti. This gives an anunasika lopa. Then you have janasana khanam sanjhaloho. So that gives a dirgha. And then there is anunasikasya kvijhalo kingitihi. So three sutras over there. So these 3 sutras specifically are being blocked in the current context for the ktich pratyaya. So na ktichi dirghascha. So this ktich pratyaye parataha anudattopadeshadinam anunasika lopaha dirghaha na bhavati. So anunasika lopa is by this anudattopadesha vanati tanotyadinam anunasika lopo jhalikingiti, and dirgha is by anunasikasya kvijja. Where is it over here? This one, anunasikasya kvijjalokingiti. So this second sutram ittanena atra dirghaha bhavati. So dirgha bhavati. So basically both these sutras, actually as I mentioned, there are 3 sutras in that whole group. We have anunasikasya kvijjalokingiti as one. We have anudattopadesha vanati tanotyadinam anunasika lopo jhalikingiti as second, and we have jana sana khanam sanjalo as third. So we study these sutras always in a triplet in the sequence. So basically all these 3 sutras have been blocked by one way or the other for the ktich pratyaya. So na ktichi dirghascha इत्यनेन सूत्रेण द्वयोः सूत्रयोः कार्यं तत्र निषिध्यते. ktich प्रत्यये परतः अनुनासिक लोपः अपि न भवति, दीर्घः अपि न भवति. So yama becomes yanti. You don't get a dirgha, you don't get anunasika lopa. Vanti, so vana becomes vanti, tana becomes tanti. So vaniti tanotyadinam dirgha anunasika lopau na staha ktichi pare. The reason why he says, I expect you all to know this, but you can go back and look at these things, that these 3 sutras actually come as utsarga apavada. So as soon as one of them is blocked, the second will come up. So he basically says that अनुदात्तोपदेश वनति तनोत्यानेनाम इत्यनेन जायमानः लोपः तथा च अनुनासिकस्य क्विज्झलोकिंगिति इत्यनेन जायमानः दीर्घः द्वयोः अपि अत्र निषेधः भवति. तादृशं किमपि कार्यं न भवति. नॉर्मल यम प्लस ति अनुस्वार परसवर्णं कृत्वा यन्ति, नो चेत् वन्ति, तन्ति एतादृशानि रूपाणि सिद्ध्यन्ति. So actually simple is eliminating sutras. and sanah ktichi lopascha anyatarasyam. So san iti asti tatra etat sarvam vikalpena bhavati. So sana specifically for the sana dhatu, that's where the third sutram comes in. Sorry, here Janasana Khanan Sanjalo. So that's the third sutram. Janasana Khanan Sanjalo. That's the sutram that comes in. So Satihi. So for this particular sutram, you have everything becoming optional. So you get Dirgha optionally, you get Anunasika Lopa optionally, and the third case where nothing happens, that is also optional. So sanotehe angasya तिचि प्रत्यये परतः आकारः आदेशः भवति लोपः भवति सर्वमन्यतरस्यां भवति. सो दीर्घादेशे कृते आकारादेशे कृते सन इत्यस्य साति इति भवति. सो नकारस्य आकारादेशे कृते साति इति भवति. नो चेत् नकारस्य लोपे कृते सति इति भवति. नो चेत् सन्ति नॉर्मल सन्ति इति भवति. नथिंग हैपेंस. सो अन्यतरस्यां ग्रहणं विस्पष्टार्थम ये संबद्धम ही भाषा ग्रहणमिति निवृत्तम इत्याशंकेत. In that context there was an anuvritti of vibhasha coming up. So he says अन्यतरस्याम इति ग्रहणं वस्तुतः अनावश्यकम् अस्ति, परन्तु अत्र विस्पष्टार्थम उक्तम् अस्ति. So somebody is asking again, please pay attention to what I'm teaching. Somebody is asking if tich pratyaya is used for all dhatus. Look at this. Tich tau pratyayo kevalam samya nirmanartham eva prayoktavyo. So sarvebhya dhatubhyah नियमरूपेण भवन्ति. सूत्रे तादृशम् उक्तमस्ति भवन्ति, परन्तु केवलं यत्र संज्ञाः सिद्ध्यन्ति, रूढिशब्दाः सिद्ध्यन्ति, तत्रैव एतेषां एतयोः प्रत्ययोः अनेन सूत्रेण प्रयोगः भवति. That's what I said. Only the examples that are quoted on this slide and the examples that are quoted on these two slides, these are the only examples that we want to take over here. So yanti, vanti, tanti, sati, santi. So in all these cases there is a sana dhatu. So na, if it becomes a, then it is sati. Na, if it undergoes a lopa, then it is sati. And if nothing happens, then it is santi. So all three cases are possible. That's why he says anyatarasyam. किम किम अन्यतरस्याम एकस्मिन् पक्षे लोपः, अपरस्मिन् पक्षे दीर्घः, अन्यस्मिन् पक्षे किमपि न भवति. So these are the only two specific sutras. Sanotehe ktichi atvam va syad lopascha va sati sati santi. And then he gives an example of Devadatta from the previous slide. So that completes the discussion of randomly placed sutras like the rini pratyaya, ktich pratyaya, and kta pratyaya. There are a few more questions. Oh, oh man. Okay, so there is a question which I never imagined. This sun word over here has nothing to do with the sun pratyaya. So this is not the son of P Patisha and so on. This is specifically for sana dhatu. So sana iti dhatoho vishaye. Look at this, Kashika. Sanotehe angasya. So this has nothing to do with the sun pratyaya. This is san dhatu plus tich pratyaya combining together. Three different forms are possible. Okay, so let's take a 1 minute rest because there's so many of the questions, but let me keep them aside because some really important part is still coming up and it's going to take a while. So idanim avashakadhamraniyoho ninihi ityanena nini pratyayah ktich tau cha samnyayam ityanena ktich tatha kta etau pratyayo asmabhi drishtau. Idanim agre gacchamaha. This whole gray colored sutras, they are all tumun replacements in the Vedas. Tumarthe, se, sen, and so on. We have studied all of these in one of the previous classes. Idanim agre gacchamaha. There are 3 or 4 important sutras that I want to cover. We still have only half an hour left. 4 important sutras that I want to cover. One of them requires a lot of interesting discussion along with study of a paribhasha. So please now pay full attention to what I'm talking. 4 important sutras for Ktva Pratyaya, Alankhalvo, Pratishedhayo, Pracham, Ktva Udicham, Mango, Vyatihare, Paravara Yogecha, and Samana Kartrukayoho Purvakale. Tatra Prathamam Sutram अलङ्खल्वोः प्रतिषेधयोः प्राचां क्त्वा. प्राचाम् इत्युक्ते ईस्टर्न grammarians think like this vikalpena iti artha. So here in the consecutive sequences it talks about some geography also. So alankhalvo pratishedhayo pracham ktva. So eastern grammarians think like this. Udicham mango vyatihare. The northern grammarians talk like this. So you have to take all this from point of view of where Panini was. So from his place, whatever is the whatever were well-known Eastern grammarians or Eastern Pradeshas and the Northern Pradeshas, in those cases, whatever dialects of Sanskrit language were used, those particular aspects are captured over here. For all our practical purposes, it means optionally. Eastern Pradeshe bhavati, Western Pradeshe na bhavati ityukte optionally bhavati iti artha. So alankhalvoho pratishedayoho pracham ktva alam iti shabdaha. So alam, everybody knows there are multiple meanings of the word alam. I discussed it in one of the previous classes. The most common meaning is nishedha. Alam kuru or alam bhojanena. Don't eat. Tatra nishedha. What is more important is that there is the word khalu, which is typically used to indicate certainly or definitely or something. But the word khalu also has the shade of nishedha. So if you go to the kosha, khalu is used to indicate nishedha. One of the many meanings of the word khalu is nishedha. So nishedha in this particular context of nishedha, when the word alam and the word khalu are used as upapadas, in their presence, you get the ktva pratyaya to the dhatu. Why is this sutra created? Because there is no purvakalikatva. Remember, the only place where we have studied ktva pratyaya so far is the purvakalikatva. Bhuktva gacchati samana kartrukayoho purvakale. Now here there is no purvakala. We are just talking about nishedha. So nishedhasya nirdeshartham alam iti avyayam tatha khalu iti avyayam निषेधस्य निर्देशार्थम यत्र उच्यते तत्र क्त्वा प्रत्ययः भवति. So you can say alam roditva or you can say khalu roditva. Both mean the same thing. Do not cry. Alam roditva rodanam ma kuru, khalu roditva rodanam ma kuru. Pakshe alam rodanena ityapi bhavati. So for khalu you don't have alternate examples. At least they are not there in the kosha or the commentary. But alam shabdaha alam bhojanena alam gamanena iti vayam vadamaha. So we also know there is a tritiya apeksha over there. Alam bhayena, somebody is quoting a very good example. So alam roditva alam bhitva anena prakarena atra prayogaha siddhyanti pakshe alam rodanena api bhavati. And this is a place where you understand that when you say alam roditva, alam iti upapadam asti, parantu atra upapada samasaha na bhavati, amaiva vyayena iti nishedha asmabhi drishtaha, iti niyamaha asmabhi drishtaha. So the reason why ktva pratyaya was bifurcated into two groups, the ktva pratyaya that appears on the top cannot undergo upapada samasa. So in any of these examples, we do not, in any of these sutras, we will not see upapada samasa. Ama eva avyayena samasyate. So only the ama pratyanta avyaya will undergo a samasa. That is the namul pratyaya. So amaiva avyayena iti tatra niyamah kriyate. Ataha alam roditva ityatra समासः उपपद समासः न भवति अलम इति अवश्यम उपपदम अस्ति. सो अलम खलु इत्येतयोः प्रतिषेधवाचिनोः उपपदयोः धातवोः क्त्वा प्रत्ययः भवति. प्राचाम् आचार्याणां मतेन अलम कृत्वा खलु कृत्वा, डोंट डू, अलम करणेन इति अर्थः. अलम बाले रुदित्वा, अलम खल्वोः इति किम्? Other context you don't get it. Ma karshrihi. So other upapadas are not allowed. Ma iti निषेधार्थमेव अस्ति, परन्तु अस्मिन् सूत्रे तत्र तस्य प्रयोगः नावश्यकः, न क्रियते. केवलम् अलं तथा खलु इत्येतयोः विषये एव इदं सूत्रं प्रयुज्यते. प्रतिषेधयोः इति किं? सो अलं खल्वोः प्रतिषेधयो इति किमर्थम् उक्तम्? As you saw, khalu word is used in multiple contexts. Alam also is used in multiple contexts. So somebody is saying alam is also used in the context of enough. So Bhimaha Duryodhanaya alam. So that's a different meaning. Alam karoti, to decorate, that's yet another meaning. So the word alam can come in multiple flavors, the word khalu can come in multiple flavors. only the pratishedha related meaning is to be allowed over here. So atra alankaraha ityasya vishaye alankrutva iti क्त्वा प्रत्ययः न भवति. So alankrutva gacchati is different. There you still get the क्त्वा pratyaya by samana kartukayoho purvakale. That's different. We are talking about the nishedha over here. So alam roditva ityatra पूर्वकालिक क्रिया कापि नास्ति. सो समान कर्तृकयोः पूर्वकाले इत्यनेन अत्र प्रयोगः प्रत्ययः न भवति. अतः अस्य प्रयोगस्य साधुत्वार्थं भिन्नं सूत्रं प्रतिपादितम् आचार्यैः अलङ्खल्वोः प्रतिषेधयोः प्राचां त्वा प्राचां ग्रहणं विकल्पार्थं. सो ऑप्शन अतः एव अलं रोदनेन इति अपि प्रयोगः भवति. वासरूपविधिश्चित् पूजार्थं. So understand this. This is basically saving your skin. So after sheet number 9, it's all dicey whether you use the Vasarupa Vidhi or whether you don't use the Vasarupa Vidhi. So somebody might say, anyway, there is Vasarupa Vidhi. So what is the point of having Pracham? So the point of having Pracham is to actually indicate that there were grammarians in the East who did this kind of usage. So Vasarupa Vidhi asti chet pujartham. Pujartham ityukte tesham nirdeshartham. Give credit to them. Puja ityukte give credit to them. If you say there is no Vasarupa Vidhi at all, because both the pakshas can exist after, ninth sheet. So tatra pracham granam vikalpartham. So pracham ityanena केषुचन प्रदेशेषु एव भवति, अतः विकल्पः इति अपि अर्थः लभ्यते. नो चेत् वासुरूपविधि अस्ति अनेनैव विकल्पः प्राप्नोति इति वदामश्चेत् पूजार्थं प्राचां ग्रहणं क्रियते. प्रतिषेधयो टाइपिंग मिस्टेक प्रतिषेधार्थयोः अलङ्खल्वोः उपपदयोः उक्त्वा स्यात् प्राचां गृणं पूजार्थम् अमैवाव्ययेन इति नियमात् न उपपद समासः. And then he talks about the prakriya do dadgoho ghumastha makarshi and so on. So he is talking about the prakriya of twa pratyay, which we have spent sufficient classes on it. So that is all about alankhalvoho pratishedhayoho pracham twa. Agre gacchamaha. So just like the way this sutram was about the eastern grammarians, the next one is about the northern grammarians. Udicham mango vyatihare. According to the northern grammarians, mang only one specific dhatu. So previous case it was not one dhatu. It was basically any dhatu where negation would make sense. Alam tatha khalu etadrisha nishedha yatra artham prapnoti. Alam roditva, alam krutva, alam gatva, alam pitva. You can do whatever you want. But in the next sutram, udicham mango vyatihare, very specific one word, one dhatu, meng pranidane iti dhatuhu asti. Meng pranidane asya dhatoho visheva idam sutram pravartate. Udicham mango vyatihare. What is pranidane ityasya arthaha? To exchange, to hand over, to give something and take something, bartering. That is the meaning of pranidana, and that is exactly the meaning that is explained by the word vyatihara. We have seen this word earlier also, karma vyatihara, doing the same action against each other. Here in the specific context of the meng dhatu, it essentially means paraspara vinimayaha. So for example, I give you 1 kg rice, you give me 1 kg wheat. The way typically the business or transaction happened in those days, or as the example is written over here, tvaya gauhu datta chet maya mahishah diyate. So if you give me cow, I will offer you a buffalo. So tvaya gauhu datta chet maya mahishah diyate. This is the thought, this is the agreement, this is the deal. Iti vyavahara rupena gam yachate. So he fixes this deal and then he asks for the cow. So atra tvaya gauhu datta chet maya mahishah diyate iti vyavahara rupena gam yachate. So first he fixes that particular deal, then he asks for the cow. The prayoga that we generate for this is apamitya yachate. Understand how this whole thing is generated. Apamitya yachate. Atra meng iti dhatuhu तत्र क्त्वा प्रत्यय व्यतिहारः अस्ति, because you are doing some kind of transaction, you are doing some kind of deal agreement. So क्त्वा इति प्रत्ययः अस्ति, अप इति उपसर्गः अस्ति, उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ क्त्वा प्रत्ययस्य ल्यप इति आदेशः भवति. So that is always there. क्त्वा will always get converted to ल्यप. What is important is क्त्वा comes first. So apa plus ma plus lyapa. Mayateridyanyatarasyam sutram I have taught in the class of prakriya. You can go and take a look. Atra vikalpena ikaradeshah bhavati. So ma optionally becomes me or ma. Apa maya or apamitya ikaradeshah bhavati chet hraswasya piti krutituk iti tugagame krute rupam siddhyati. So apamitya apamaya. What is happening? First you are doing the deal, then you are asking for the cow. You don't ask for cow and then say, if you give me cow, I will return a buffalo to you. First you do a deal. So त्वया गौः दत्ता चेत् मया महिषः दीयते इति व्यवहाररूपेण गाम्याचते. तत्र अपमित्य याचते, very specific प्रयोग, अपमित्य याचते. That is, I think, the only example that is given in the commentary. अपमित्य याचते, नो चेत् अपमित्य हरति इति अपि प्रयुज्यते. हरति means take away, not steal or whatever. Carry away, take away iti artha. So apamitya or apamaya yachate, apamatya or apamaya harati iti udaharanani atra dattani. So ktva iti vartate udicha mango vyatihare. मांग इत्युक्ते मेंग प्रणिदाने इति धातुः अस्मात् धातोः व्यतिहारे वर्तमानात् उदीचाम् आचार्याणां मतेन क्त्वा प्रत्ययः भवति. अपमित्य याचते, अपमित्य हरति, अपूर्वकालकत्वात् अप्राप्तः क्त्वा विधीयते. So there are no two kriyas happening over here. Understand, meng is pranidane, no exchange has actually happened. So you are not, we cannot say meng dhatu is the first kriya and yacha dhatu is the another kriya, is the second kriya. No exchange has actually happened, only some agreement has happened. Therefore पूर्व अपूर्वकालकद्वा, there is no पूर्वकाल क्रिया. So समानकर्तकयोः पूर्वकाले इत्यनेन क्त्वा प्रत्ययः नैव सम्भवति. तदर्थम् अत्र क्त्वा प्रत्ययः विशेषरूपेण दीयते. अपूर्वकालकत्वात् अप्राप्तः क्त्वा विधीयते. If you reverse the ordering, if you first ask and then return, then obviously it is a purvakala kriya. So look at the last line over here. Yachitva apamayate iti api sadhu asti. First you ask and then you say, give me cow and then I will return, say, return back a buffalo, something like that. So yachitva apamayate etadrishaha prayogaha api sadhu. परंतु अस्य प्रयोगस्य अनेन सूत्रेण सह कोऽपि सम्बन्धः नास्ति. This is a simple पूर्वकालिक प्रत्यय. First there is an action of yachana or to request, then there is another action of giving back. So yachitva apamayate, takes and then exchanges or returns. अत्र अस्य सूत्रस्य विषये प्रारंभे व्यवहारं कृत्वा तदनन्तरं याचते इति अर्थः अस्ति. तत्र पूर्वकालिकक्रिया नास्ति. अपूर्वकालकत्वात् अप्राप्तः क्त्वा विधीयते. उदीचां ग्रहणात् विकल्पेन. सो याचित्वा अपमयते, हृत्वा अपमयते and so on. Let's take a look at Kaumudi. Vyatihare arthe mangaha ktva syat apurvakalarthamidam. Mengaha ikaraha antadesha. That's the mayateridyanyatarasyam. Apamitya yachate apamaya yachate udicham granat yatha praptamapi yachitva apamayate iti api rupam siddhyati. Now we are running short of time, but there is something really interesting happening in this sutram over here. The fundamental question that I want to discuss over here, many of you might have already studied all these things. This occurs at the beginning of Paribhashindu Shekhara. So atra udicha mango vyatihare ityasmin sutre asmabhi kim drushtam dhatuhu asti meng. So Panini should say udicha mengaha vyatihare. Why does he say udicha mangaha vyatihare? Atra meng ityasya sthane paninina mang iti kimartham samsthapitam etadrisha nirdeshaha iyam asangatihi asti. So somebody is saying adecha upadesheshiti, meng gets converted to mang. So I'll come to that in a minute. But if you want to write, if it is about meng, writing mang instead of meng is being crazy. It is asangati. So basically, the whole discussion starts by saying that this is asangati over here. And obviously, somebody replies saying Adecha Upadesheshiti Ityanena Meng Ityasya Mang iti bhavati. And the counter question on that is, but where is Meng Ajanta? Meng is Nakaranta. Meng ityatra Nakaraha ante shruyate. So Adecha Upadesheshiti Ityanena kimuchyate. Ejantah yaha dhatuhu tasya akaradesha bhavati. Like gai becomes ga, so becomes a sa. But here the dhatu is meng. It is a nakaranta dhatu. Ng is it's samyaka letter over here, but still Panini makes a reference as mang. This particular sutram is taken as a jnapaka. Listen to this carefully. This particular sutram is taken as a jnapaka that its samyaka letters are not to be considered when you want to decide what is the last letter of a dhatu. So dhatoho adivarnaha kaha antimavarnaha kaha ityasya nirnayasya samaye इत्सम्यकवर्णानां ग्रहणं न करणीयम् इति नियमः अस्माभिः प्रथमवर्गात् आरभ्य बहुवारं श्रुतः. When you want to find out the first letter or the last letter of the dhatu, you do not consider its samyaka letter. This is the rule that we studied again and again. The question is, how does this rule come in the existence? Is there a sutram in Ashtadhyayi for that? The answer is no. Then how does this rule come in the existence? The answer is right over here. The Manga Grahanam in this sutram is taken as a Jnapaka that Panini treats Menga and Me exactly as replacements of each other. Because if Panini wanted Menga as Nakaranta, if he wanted to include its samyaka letters in decision of Antima or Adi letters, then it was not possible to convert Me to Ma because Adi Chopadesheshiti was not applicable. बट अत्र आदेश उपदेशेषिति इत्यनेन मेङ् इत्यस्य माङ् इति आदेशः भवति. इदमेव ज्ञापकं यत् अन्तिमवर्णस्य आदिवर्णस्य वा निर्णयसमये इत्सम्यकवर्णानां ग्रहणं न क्रियते. अनेनैव नानुबन्धकृतम् अनेजन्तत्वं, सेवेंथ परिभाषा इन परिभाषा इंदुशेखर, नानुबन्धकृतम् अनेजन्तत्वम् इति परिभाषा सिद्ध्यति. So at this point in time, I want to spend a few minutes. We might overrun a little bit, say 10 minutes because of so many questions in the beginning, but let's go slow on this. This is one of the important paribhashas in the Paribhashendu Shekhara. What is Paribhashendu Shekhara? Paribhashendu Shekhara is a collection of paribhashas. Paribhashas are basically statements that are derived from the bhasha or that tell you some important rules that are not captured in the sutras. Aniyame Niyamakarani Paribhasha iti uchyate. There are three types of paribhashas in the Paribhashendu Shekhara. Some of them can be directly derived from the sutras of Ashtadhyayi. We call them Swatantra Vachaniki paribhashas. Some of them can be derived from the Loka Vyavahara. We call them Nyaya Siddha paribhashas. And some paribhashas can be derived using some hints in the Ashtadhyayi Sutras. These are called Jnapaka Siddha paribhashas. So this is a Jnapaka Siddha paribhasha over here because it uses this particular hint present in the Sutram. Instead of Udicham Mengaha Vyatihare, Panini says Udicham Mangaha Vyatihare. This particular inaccuracy in the Sutram, technically speaking, it is inaccuracy. So all these Jnapaka Siddha paribhashas, wherever we say there is a Jnapaka, it always starts with first thing by observing something is useless or inaccurate. So सूत्रे किंचित व्यर्थ रूपेण स्यात्, नो चेत् सूत्रे किंचित अयुक्तम स्यात्, सूत्रे कुत्रचित असंगतिः स्यात्. This is the starting point. So you look at this vaiyarthyam, you look at this asangati and say that Panini cannot do an asangati over here. Therefore, you propose a paribhasha in such a way that that asangati or that vaiyarthya turns out to be immediately useful. So these are actually 4 steps in the homework today. I have actually explicitly and purposely given a question. So this is the homework document for today. Sorry, let me just zoom it. This is the homework document for today. Give me 1 minute. Let's just zoom it. तत्र look at this last question. नानुबन्धकृतम् अनेजन्तत्वम् इत्यस्याः परिभाषायाः इदानीम् अस्मिन् प्रश्ने स्पष्टीकरणं दातव्यम्. So paribhashas, these kind of paribhashas where they are generated using the Jnapaka from Ashtadhyayi. There are always 4 steps in explaining these paribhashas. First step is Adau Vaiyarthyam. So you find out a word in the sutram which is either useless or incorrect. So अत्र उदीचां मांगो व्यतिहारे इत्यत्र मांग इति शब्दः अनुचितः अस्ति, तस्य स्थाने मेंग इति शब्दः भवेत्. So that is वैयर्थ्य. वैयर्थ्य means either useless or incorrect. अनुचितम, असंगतम इति वदामः. So that is आदौ वैयर्थ्यम. Now the underlying hypothesis is that Panini cannot do mistakes like this in the Sutra Patham. So the next step, you look at this Vayarthya and you compose a construct, create a paribhasha to justify that Vayarthya. So to justify that word which is apparently Vyartha. So that is the second step, Paschat Vakyartha Kalpana. Vakyartha Kalpana is write down the paribhasha. So the paribhasha is Nanubandha Krutam Anejantatvam. What does this sound like? Let's split it up and understand this. So na anubandha krutam anejantatvam. Please pay close attention. This nanubandha krutam anejantatvam paribhasha, you split it. Na anubandha krutam anejantatvam. This is a negation of a negation. So anejantatvam. Let's look at the last word, anejantatvam. Na ejantatvam is equal to anejantatvam. So ejanta means ending in an H letter. So ejantaha nasti ityukte anejantaha asti. So meng iti dhatuhu ejantaha nasti anejantaha asti. कथम अनेजन्तः अस्ति नकार ग्रहणेन अनेजन्तः अस्ति because न is present at the end. So looking at the न over there, one might just incorrectly assume that it is not ejanta, it is anejanta. So you ask yourself, is this na itsamyaka? And if the answer is yes, then the paribhasha says na anubandha krutam anejantatvam. So if an anejantatva is imparted because of an anubandha, then it can be ignored. So meng ityatra nakaratva gakarantatva ityukte anejantatva kena diyate anubandhena diyate nakarena diyate. That can be ignored. That is the gist of the paribhasha. So na अनुबंधकृतम अनेजंतत्वम. अनुबंधकृतम अनेजंतत्वम न स्वीकार्यम न अर्हम अर्यम इति अत्र अर्थः. So that is the paribhasha that we generate. That is the paribhasha that we create. Why? Because if anubandhakrutam anejantatvam was valid, if nakara indeed was powerful enough to make the meng dhatu anejanta, then it was not possible to convert meng to mang, and then there was a mistake in the sutram when he says udicha mango vyatihare. So the word mang in the sutra is a jnapaka. So that is the vayarthya. That vayarthya indicates the paribhasha nanubandhakrutam anejantatvam. Now we don't stop at this place. The third step is swamshe charitarthyam. So you use that paribhasha in the same sutram and you remove that vayarthya. So as soon as you say that we have this paribhasha, then in the original sutram mang makes sense because meng is essentially me. You can apply adecha upadesha shiti and you can convert it to ma. So mang actually makes sense in the original sutram. So that is swamshe charita. Swamsha means in the own sutram. The same sutram where the word was useless, you cook up a paribhasha so that the word becomes useful. So these are the three important steps. Adau vayarthyam, paschad vakyartha kalpana, and then swanshe charitarthyam. I would otherwise take one full class to explain all these three things. There are so many things to talk about this, but this is definitely not the right time. The only point I would like to complete is there is yet another step, anyatra phalam. You are creating a paribhasha, you have to show its usage somewhere else. So here many of you will know that for this particular paribhasha, we have a sutram, some other sutram where the paribhasha has to be used. You cannot just cook up a paribhasha if there is one useless word in the sutram for that sutram. So sutre vyarthaha shabdaha asti. तस्य वैयर्थ्यस्य नाशं कारयितुं तत्रैव प्रयोगं कारयितुम् एका परिभाषा न निर्मातव्या. किमर्थं? So it is not powerful enough so that you can use own, I mean, it doesn't gain sufficient power if all that you're going to say is I'll use that paribhasha in that sutra itself. So then you have to use a global applicability of this paribhasha, so that this paribhasha which is created is not just for this sutram, but is used at other places also. So example, then dada ghvadap iti sutram asti. Asmin sutre adap इति निषेधः यः क्रियते तत्र दैप इत्यस्यापि निषेधः भवति. सो दैप इति धातोः घुसंज्ञा न भवति. किमर्थं न भवति? अदाप इत्यनेन दैप इत्यस्यापि निषेधः क्रियते. So I am specifically and purposely talking all this in the air because I want people to read up on these things. Read up Dada Ghodapa Sutram. I think I have explained this particular aspect in Dada Ghodapa Sutram, and read up a little bit about these four specific aspects. You can look it up on the internet. If people want, I can just write a small note and post it on the group for people to understand or follow it up. But this is the specific, self study kind of homework. Those who are interested in advanced studies of grammar, specifically Paribhasha Nideshekara, please work this out on your own. Others can ignore this particular thing. So Nanubandhakrutamanijantatvam. Let's go back to slide. We have 3-4 more slides to cover. So atra same discussion that I discussed in last 20 minutes, 15 minutes is all summarized over here. So छात्रः तत्र पृच्छति उदीचां मांगो व्यतिहारे अत्र मांग इति निर्देशः कृतः अस्ति. What is mang? And then teacher says this is actually meng. Adecha upadeshishiti will make it mang. But then the teacher, student says meng is nakaranta. So he is clear that we don't have yet learned a sutram that will say meng is ekaranta. So he says meng is nakaranta. How can you apply adecha upadeshishiti? So essentially it means that mang word is incorrect. That's ada vayarthyam. And then teacher clarifies इदमेव सूत्रं नानुबन्धकृतमनेजन्तत्वम् इति परिभाषायाः ज्ञापकम् एजन्तत्वनिर्णयसमये अनुबन्धस्य चिन्तनं न क्रियते. So this is the paribhasha, that is step number 2, vakyartha kalpana. Then the paribhasha has to be used in the same sutram, that is called swamshe charitarthyam. Asyaha eva prayogam krutva meng iti ejantam svikritya. Because you have used the same paribhasha in the same sutra, ng can now be ignored, or ngakarantatva caused because of itsamnyaka ng can be ignored, and we can just say me iti ejantam svikritya tasya sthane akaradesham krutva mang iti samsthapyate. So understand, mang, nakara is not going anywhere. We are just treating meng as ekaranta because itsamnyaka varnena tatra antima varnasya nirdeshah na kriyate. So meng, even if it sounds like it is nakaranta, still it is ikaranta. That's the power of the paribhasha nanubandhakrutam anejantatvam. Mang iti acharya hi sansthapyate. So that is step number 3, swamshe charitarthyam. And the fourth step, anyatra phalam. So dada ghvadap ityatra adap ityanena daip ityasyapi grahanam bhavati. So let's see this dada ghvadap sutram. So atra dap tatha daip adap. So this is a negation. Adapa negation is the, that particular negation also negates daipa. The reason is because daipa is included in dapa because of this particular exact this paribhasha. Daipa is not pakaranta, it is aikaranta, it is ejanta. So adechu upadeshashit ityanena dap ityanenapi tasya grahanam bhavati. So I think I don't know if I have explained this part. Probably not, but uh, probably not. If possible, I'll just write a quick note and send it to the class if I get time. But otherwise, I think this particular discussion is totally sufficient for answering that question in the homework. So there is a discussion on bhasha about this. So somebody actually asked over here. So are these paribhashas given in the bhasha? Yes, most of these paribhashas are given in the bhasha. So bhashya vartikayoho upanibaddhani. The starting of paribhashan shekhara is the opening statement of paribhashan shekhara is this: asmi prachina vayyakarana tantre vachanikani अत्र पाणिनीय तंत्रे ज्ञापक न्याय सिद्धानि भाष्य वार्तिकयोः उपनिबद्धानि. The paribhashas that are certified by the Bhashya, most of them actually are certified by the Bhashya and the Vartikakara, yani paribhasha, whatever, yani paribhasha vakyani, tani vyakhyayante, and so on. So this entire book is a list of paribhashas. Most of these are justified by the Bhashya. So for example, here in Udicha Mango Vyatihare, you can directly see this paribhasha over here. So kimartham mengaha sanubandhakasya atvabhutasya granam kriyate. So he says siddhe satiyan mengha sanubhutasya atvabhutasya granam karoti tad acharya jnapayati nanubandhakrutam anejantatvam, and so on. So you can take a look at this particular bhashya. This is the reason I put it over here, is to show that this particular bhashyam talks about this paribhasha nanubandhakrutam anejantatvam. One last comment before we move to the next sutra. I know I did a lot of hand waving, but this is not part of our course. I still wanted to have a quick discussion on this so that there are people in our class who are actually doing advanced studies. So I know at least 5-6 people from our class who are studying Paribhashindu Shekhara separately. So for them, this is a definitely good exercise, that they at least have studied it, or they are going to study it, or they might not have understood what they have studied it, and this is going to be a trigger for them to go back and look into those things. If you are not already studying Paribhashindu, or if you are not into this kind of advanced grammar, you can ignore this particular part completely. Agre Gachama, there is one sutram. I think we will take it in some 5 minutes. Maybe we are going to run 5 more minutes beyond the regular time. But there's one more sutram and then we will stop. So Paravara Yogecha, actually simple sutram. Paravara Yogecha iti agrimam sutram. So Udicham Mango Vyatihare iti sutram asmabhi adhitam. Agre asti Paravara Yogecha. So Paravara Yogecha, para means beyond and avara means before. So beyond, so before and after is basically related to space, because if it is related to time, then we already have samana kartrika yoho purvakale. So purvakala uttarakala, the temporal distinction in time, if you want to make a distinction, you already have a ktva pratyaya. Now here we are going to learn how to use the ktva pratyaya for distinction in the space. So imagine a simple scenario that there is, for example, a mountain, and on the other side of the mountain there is a river. So if you look at one angle, we can say that the mountain comes before the river, or from the other side, I mean, you are on the same side, but you can change this sentence and say the river is after the mountain. So here you have a special, the space related before and after words that are used. So dvayoho padarthayoho sambandha para ityukte anantaram asti. Anantaram ityukte kale anantaram iti na dikshu anantaram. In that particular direction, it is later. So anantara uta avara. Avara is on others, on the earlier side. So avara etabhyam shabdabhyam darshate. So relation between two word objects, like say a mountain and a river. One is on the other side of another. Etadrishah sambandha asti tarhi tatra ktva pratyaya prayujyate. Let's see this particular example. Adau parvataha asti. So you are standing at some point, you first see the mountain, and on the other side of the mountain the river flows. So adau parvataha asti tataha nadi vahati. So from the point of view of parvata, we can say paradishi nadi asti. From the point of view of nadi, we can say avaradishi parvataha asti. So the words para and avara, only these two words are specifically used over here. Para avara yoge. So yoge in the sense atra upapada rupena nasti, tadrishah sandarbhah eva atra asti. So para yoge, nochet avara yoge. Each I have given one example. So let's take the examples and it will be clear. Nadyaha avaradishi parvataha asti. So before the nadi, if you draw a line from where you are standing and till the river, on that line, in somewhere in between there is the mountain. So nadyaha avaradishi parvataha asti, asmin arthe nadim aprapya parvataha sthitaha iti prayogaha drishyate. Specific prayogas are being justified over here. Nadim aprapya parvataha sthitaha. What does it mean? If you start from your place and try to go to the parvata, you will not reach the nadi. Before you reach the nadi, you will get the parvata. So nadim अप्राप्य, without meeting the river, नदीम अप्राप्य पर्वतः स्थितः इति प्रयोगः अत्र दृश्यते. So specific prayogas are being justified, not for any random use cases. I mean, you can definitely replace nadi and river by, say, Delhi and Bangalore. That is definitely okay. Like if you're standing at one place, you can say first there is one town and then there is another town. Those things are okay, but the usage pattern should be as indicated over here. So nadim aprapya parvatah sthitah, अत्र किमस्ति, पर्वतः परनदीयोगेन विशिष्यते. पर्वतस्य कीदृशः योगः, परनद्या सह योगः. नदी इज लेटर, पर्वत इज अर्लियर. सो परनद्या सह पर्वतस्य योगः अत्र परनदीयोगेन विशिष्यते. तत्र नदीम् अप्राप्य पर्वतस्थितः इति प्रयोगः दृश्यते. In the same way, if you reverse the configuration, if you are talking from the point of view of, say, nadi, then you have to cross the parvata to go to the nadi. So if you want to reach the parvata, nadi aprapya, nadim aprapya, you don't have to reach the nadi. But if you want to reach the nadi, you have to cross the parvata. So parvatam atikramya nadi sthita. Now understand this point. If you are actually walking in the time, then this can be justified by samana kartrikayoho purvakale. You first cross the parvata and then you reach the river. So when you're actually walking, that's not the context over here. If you're actually walking or actually traveling in that direction, then it is anyway relationship in the time. First you will meet the parvata, you have to cross the parvata, then you get the nadi. So that kind of scenario is already justified by samana kartruka yoho purvakale. Here there is no movement in the time at all. We are only talking about relative positioning. We are saying that parvata is first and then there is nadi. So we qualify the nadi by saying parvatam atikramya nadi sthita. अत्र समा पूर्वकाल परकाल इति किमपि नास्ति. अतः अत्र पर्वतम् अतिक्रम्य नदी स्थिता इत्यत्र परावरयोगे इति सूत्रेण प्रयोगः दृश्यते. सो नदी अत्र अवर पर्वत योगेन विशिष्यते. So nadi is beyond parvata. So how is parvata? It is on the avara side. So avara parvata yogena atra nadi vishishyate. Nadyaha avara parvata yogena avara parvatena sah yogah asti iti ashayah. So let's take a look at the commentary. Paravarabhyam yogah paravara yogah parena purvasya yoge gamyamane. Little bit convoluted statement, but it doesn't mean anything complex. So parena purvasya yoge gamyamane, avarena cha parasya yoge gamyamane. So basically nadi in the context of parvata or parvata in the context of nadi. Somebody is clarifying spatial relationship, one coming before another or one coming after another, precisely. So parena purvasya yoge gamyamane, avarena cha parasya yoge gamyamane, धातोः क्त्वा प्रत्ययः भवति. अप्राप्य नदीम पर्वतः स्थितः. So parvata is coming first. Say 20 kilometers from here is the parvata and 50 kilometers in the same direction is nadi. So parvata comes first. So you don't have to reach the nadi to get the parvata. Nadim aprapya parvata sthitah. On the other hand, you have to cross the parvata to get the nadi. Av atikramya parvatam nadi sthita iti atra ashayah. So parena purvasya avarena parasya yoge gamye dhatoh uktva pratyah. Same examples. Aprapya nadim parvatah atikramya parvatam sthita nadi. Paranadi yogaha parvatasya. Same wording I have also used over here. Avara parvata yogaha nadyaha. Explained over here in the left hand side. So that completes the sutram paravara yogecha. And the next sutram samana kartrukayoho purvakale, which we have already studied in details in the previous class. So samana kartrukayoho purvakale, I have discussed this commentary in details. This is the stock usage of tva pratyaya when two actions happen in a time. So now this is temporal. Purva parabhava. Something happens before something else. So samana kartrukayoho purvakale is used for that. All the previous cases that we used were other aspects of tva pratyaya where the temporal relationship is not there. So we have studied this particular sutram. We also discussed this asyam vyadaya swapiti, chakshuhu sammilya sati. We have explained, we have studied both these vartikas also in details. So with this samapayamaha. So with this we have completed the basics of initial part of this sheet, the ininik, tich, ta, and the twa pratyaya. We'll continue this whole thing in tomorrow's class. त्वा नमुल प्रत्यय हो निषेधः खमुइ प्रत्ययः नमुल प्रत्यय से काचित प्रक्रिया अस्ति. So basically now we are going to continue walking down this sheet. Whatever number of classes will require, some 4-5 classes will require for walking down this entire sheet. So samapayamah ekvaram abhyasam pashamah. So second homework I've already explained. The first one, निर्दिष्टयोः द्वयोः वाक्ययोः मध्ये विद्यमानं साधर्म्यं भेदं च स्पष्टीकुरुत. So katasya avashamkari and shatam dayi. What is the similarity? The similarity will be is the same sutram that generates the pratyaya. And what is the difference? So one place there is shashti, one place there is dvitiya. So in each such pair, find out one similarity and one difference and denote it. So nadim aprapya parvatah sthita parvatam atikramya nadi sthita. What is the similarity? What is the difference? Alam ruditva alam rodanena. What is one similarity? What is one difference? And so on. So try to give as grammatical answers as possible, like related to sutra, related to pratyaya, related to prakriya, and so on. Meanings will definitely be same. So alam ruditva and alam rodanena meanings are same, but don't say that as a similarity. प्रक्रिया समानं सूत्रमस्ति इति वक्तुं शक्यते. अलं शब्दस्य निषेधार्थे प्रयोगः अस्ति इति वक्तुं शक्यते. So you can use various components that we have learned in today's class. So samapayamaha, there were too many questions. I'm sorry I couldn't take many of them, but I think we have covered enough material on these sutras. We'll continue this sheet number 12 in the upcoming classes. Shvaha niyamita rupena kaksha bhavishyati. अष्टाध्ये जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. शब्द ब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान्यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. धन्यवादः.